Shark Tales with Andy.
Whoa.
Whoa.
It does feel like that, right?
We're acting. We're not really that tired, but it is.
But it's the
We've
last
had
night
enough.
of Gold Cup. Man.
Oh boy! I wonder
Good
what it was
times.
like for the guys here. I think it was in '89 when Hannestad won, and they had to come back on Wednesday night and race because it kept raining.
Oh, jeez.
Wonder if we would have just stayed here and camped till Wednesday, or would we have just packed up and gone home and? Huh.
I would.
We would have
I'd
had to
have
go to work.
work.
Well, so yes,
Anyways,
Gold Cup '69 is a wrap. 54 cars ended up coming back tonight, and
it was 62 that basically
showed up.
technically.
Yeah, so we lost a couple. They did a cool thing for Lowell at opening ceremonies.
Yes.
Memorial lap with the. It was kind of funny. It was both water or two water trucks and the grader. Did you see all the water sloshing out of the one in the back?
Yeah.
Just
Before
sloshing
it got
everywhere.
onto the track, it's like, uh-oh.
And it was funny because they had farmed the track before, and Sweet was in the first. He was in Heat 1 outside front row, and they had actually watered the bottom more than he wanted, especially on exit. And he's like, "God damn it! I told them not to water that far." Because he's starting next to Spencer Baston, and I guess Barry Jackson, is Barry Jackson the car owner or the crew chief on that thing? I don't know, but I guess he gets pretty fired up about stuff like that. So he's like, "This is gonna look so bad if I go water the bottom of the track and then I start on the outside." So they re-trailed it again, and then the water truck came on the track and totally soaked Brad's line, and then Brad didn't get the jump after all that chaos.
Oh, no.
So Brad missed the dash. We missed the dash too. Both of us did.
I barely did, though.
Barely missed the
it.
dash?
Yeah.
What place
Right,
did you
like-
finish in your heat race?
8.
8th. Yeah, you needed to win your heat. So
Oh. There's only 7 cars I needed to pass.
my heat was interesting. We had 19 cautions before the thing even got started, and finally got going. I ended up going 7th to 4th. Had some luck, but also I was the first 3 starts. I was awesome.
You
I
did,
went
yes.
7th to 5th and 7th to 4th, and I was thinking I wasn't just happy with 4th. I was going for more. And then the freaking start that finally went, I ended up 6th to 6th. And then I had to drive the transfers.
Like, fell off the track.
Yeah, I
that
got off the
race,
track, which
too.
Brad ripped my ass for. It's really interesting. I mean, I kind of think I know what I'm doing out there, but man, that's why he's an outlaw champion. He was telling me, well, you need to do this and you need to do that, and I didn't even understand what the hell he was saying, so I completely forgot about it already. But that's why I'm going to work to sniff lacquer on Monday. What else cool happened?
The John Boy deal. Did
I
you
missed
see
that. No, so tell me about that. They gave JB Enterprise an award,
Yeah, like
and he showed up for it.
Lifetime Achievement Award type deal for.
Did you see John Boy tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see him.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like Steve Scott was there, and he actually told me about it. He's all, "Yeah, it's pretty cool what they're doing for John Boy." I'm all, "What are they doing for John Boy?" So they present him with a Lifetime Achievement Award, and he was there. Had a whole bunch of friends and family kind of on the front stretch, and they presented that like a nice little plaque to him. And
Dang
JB
it.
Enterprises.
What the hell was I doing?
It was between, I think, the C and B.
I watched you in the B, and you looked fine. It just was
Yeah.
one of those races that just nothing ever really goes right.
Yeah.
It's like you go high, pass the car in front of you, and then he goes high.
And,
So
then,
you're like,
and then
okay.
he bobbles in the high line,
Yeah.
and I lose 2
Kane
spots.
screwed you up. You had a good run,
time,
and
yeah.
Casey got all dicked up, and there was just nowhere for you to go. And the
Right.
2 cars you had just passed drove back by you, and Casey's the one that dicked you up, and he left you in the dust.
Yeah,
Sometimes these things just don't go your way,
yeah,
and it irritates you, but you just take your licks.
yeah,
Kind of like my main event.
yeah.
Happy to make the feature. That was cool. My radio was being a piece of shit, so I stopped and tried to fix it, but it was still on the right channel, and he said, just be aware. So it's amazing how dependent I am on those race receivers, because, I mean, the race receivers are moderately new. We haven't really ran them that, majority of my career was out receivers.
Yeah, I always tell the story of Stockton, because Stockton has always been that those shows of Stockton drag out super long, and I think it might have been it was like a 10 grand to win race, like in the middle of the year.
Was that the Asparagus Cup?
I think so.
Were you in Monoff's car?
Me and Monoff went.
You ran like fourth, didn't you?
Yeah, but they were saying like, oh, they're not gonna have, because usually Scott was helping at that time, but they had a race in Placerville.
Yeah, Stockton always borrows everybody else's stuff. Scales, timing. I mean, it's kind of a crapshoot there.
They didn't have receiver radios, so I remember going into that like, this is gonna take forever. Like, what are we gonna do? Like, we're not gonna be lined up.
Takes
like,
forever with receivers.
like,
How are we going to do without them?
We don't have chalkboards anymore, because we used to there would be an official on the backstretch with the chalkboard. Hey, this number in front of this number. Get in line. Well, yeah, actually went up to the race, and then when you're on the backstretch, if the light's out, we're going green. But usually they're telling you on the receivers now, so like we have gotten so used to it. Like I was thinking, I'm like, we're gonna be screwed. Like nobody's gonna know what to do when we're out there. But it's like, no, we used to race like this all the time. Like it's funny how quickly you forget. But yeah, Receiver channel all weekend.
Crappy.
For the Outlaws.
Even when my stuff worked, I could hardly hear them.
I had to change receivers and then also change my headphones, because not only was it all staticky before, but Mike Hess was super quiet for whatever reason.
And whispering sweet nothing, literally whispering sweet nothings in your ear.
So
I don't think that's true.
I won the heat race, and they'll tell you over the receiver, like, hey, 7B, we want you to do an interview. I don't know if he told me to do an interview, but I just saw this guy win the heat race before, and he did an interview, so I'm like, well, I'm just going to pull in. Like, all I hear is and static. So I just pulled in and probably just stole the interview from somebody else.
No, they announced it. We're going to pull the 7B in, and so.
My radio was horrible Thursday night as well, and I obviously Dirt Vision does a good job, and they want to do interviews and stuff like that. So I thought there's a chance they probably want the winner. So I like let off the gas, and I'm coasting around there, and I'm like pushing on the side of my helmet to push the earplug in.
Bad, yeah.
And I thought I heard him say 92, we need you in the front stretch. I'm like, okay, I think that's what they said.
So the fun thing for me today was like Mike Hess, the DOC of the Outlaws. I'm in the fourth heat, Andy's in the third, and like he was saying, like 4 or 5 restarts to actually get one lap in. Like it was getting pretty ridiculous, and I think you guys were trying to go to single file, and he's like, guys, we're still going double file. We're gonna get it eventually. Like it was very like, oh.
And I heard barely any of that. Yeah.
And I'm sitting in staging with like no car running, so I definitely hearing it clear. And then this guy goes and gets the fourth and final transfer spot, and Mike Hess gets on the radio like and says, 92, I definitely want to hear what you have to say about this race. So you pull in and get to do an interview. So I thought that was pretty cool.
He knew he'd get some smart aleck response from me.
Exactly.
You know, speaking of smart alecky responses, I got a little bit of trouble today from a viewer of our show.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Yes. So, I'm a smart aleck, right? And I like to give people I like to give people nicknames. So the other night we were talking about Ashton Torgerson.
Mm-hmm.
In case you don't know who he is, he fell out of it. He's the one that fell out of his car at Chili Bowl, and he's fine. He was on Dr. Phil. They did a little episode about him on Dr. Phil. So I jokingly called him Fallout Boy, which Fallout Boy is
a great band.
A rock band. They have good music. So that's his nickname for him. I think I irritated him a little bit. I think he took it like I was disrespecting him, like punking him,
right.
Which I wasn't. I like to give people nicknames, and typically a nickname is kind of a joke on you. So
right.
I try to tell him it's definitely not disrespect. You actually I'm telling him this. Maybe he doesn't, but he should be flattered that he got a nickname from me. You know? I got a lot of funny nicknames for people, like Michaeling. I call him Dingling.
I like that one.
Let's see what else I call. Oh yeah, Carrick's. You know, let's face it. You know, Tanner's thin and Blake's not so thin, so I call them Sizzlings and Pork Chop. What else do I got? Caleb Montgomery. He looks like Chargers quarterback. Is it Justin Herbert? I call him Justin Herbert.
Okay.
No, so I got. Well, here's another thing. When I was coming up, I wasn't always Mr. Excitement. There was a weekend in 1996. We ran 4 nights in a row. Friday night at Placerville, Saturday Chico, Sunday at Chico, Monday. No, it must not have been 96 because Grass Valley was closed, so it must have been 95. Anyways, ran 4 nights in a row. I ran 5th in the B main all 4 nights.
Yeah.
So from that point on, I was known as Andy B.
Andy B.
Andy B main or Andy alternate. Kevin Urton, Bobby Gerald still calls me Andy B. It's not flattering, but it's kind of jokey at the same time.
Sure,
and then
sure,
when
sure.
Bobby Gerald, the Trophy Cup, well, we won't see the Trophy Cup this year, but first thing out of his mouth, Andy B.
That's funny.
So I told Ashton, I was like, if it bothers you that much, I'm totally fine with not calling you that.
Yeah. You weren't trying to do it to be disrespectful.
But
anyway.
as the day went on, I changed my mind.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm still gonna call him Fallout Boy because it's cool. He raised the point. He goes, "Do you think me falling on the car is funny and should be made fun of?" And I said, "Well, yes, since you're okay, now it is okay to make fun of it. If he would have gotten hurt, I wouldn't make fun. You won't make fun of nobody. I will. I'll make fun of him for you." But so Ashton, I changed my mind. It's okay to call you Fallout Boy. You're a gasser. You're an up and coming stud. You got a nickname from a veteran driver. Like Paul McMahon, we all called him Pud forever. I don't think that was a nice nickname, but I don't know. Pud.
Pud.
P-U-D.
Why?
Where'd
I don't
that
know.
come from?
I don't know, but it doesn't sound flattering.
It sure doesn't.
Sweet was called the Worm, too, and I don't remember
Worm.
how he got the Worm. That was something I think
Ooh.
Maine gave him. Do you know?
Yes.
Oh
It
my
was
God,
Fisher.
Maine had.
Yeah, that was back
Maine-
when he was
no.
driving for Fisher in Maine.
Fish- Fisher
Yeah, they
and
gave
Maine.
everybody nicknames.
Oh God, like there was the longest time
We
when
raced-
when I ran for Tom Fisher, like I didn't know anybody's name on our crew because it was
Boy, you're
Big
dirty.
Mac, Sea Dog, like
Nuts.
Big Head, Nutso.
This is nuts, and I was like, I'm not calling him that. What is his
Well,
name?
here, Mike Benson just walked in. How did you get the nickname Kickstand?
Oh, that's a long story.
Well, how did you get it? Let's
It
get.
was in a bar in Daytona Beach.
A bar in Daytona Beach.
What did you
Guys,
do?
song.
Yes. What did you do to get the nickname Kickstand? Are they making fun of you?
So, I drank too much.
You drank too much. Okay.
Fell
No.
off a bar stool without tipping it over, and Rod said, "You must have a kickstand."
Okay. So you fell over, and Rod Tyner called you Kickstand. It's kind of making fun of you,
Well,
but
he said, "You must have had a kickstand on that thing."
see, I got in
I was
trouble.
with Mouse and Dennis, Odds guys. You know Mouse.
Yes.
See, there we go
And then
again.
there
We
was
don't know
another-
his
He's
name.
name dropping
His
Hot
name's
and
Mouse.
Child.
And then there was another guy.
So you got drunk, you
There
fell
you go.
down, and Rod Tyner said your kickstand was out because you didn't knock over
That's
the
all-
stool.
that's all it
That's
was.
cool.
And he's like the only one that calls me that because of that.
There's quite a few people that still call you
Only
kickstand.
in Tyner's circle.
We're
The
all
well, there,
gonna
Tyner's
call you
circle.
a
There's like
Kickstand
800
now.
people in Tyner's circle. So
And then Fish started doing it when he was announcing, so people were wondering about
And Fish would be
Fish
Brad,
is Bradley
and part of
Kennedy.
the Tyner
that. Tom's
circle.
like
So-
still one of the guys.
I'm deciding it's okay to call him Fallout Boy. He's okay. He's racing. Everything's fine. I got in trouble for one of my nicknames. You know, Torgerson fell out of his cart chili bowl.
Oh.
I teased him and called him Fallout Boy.
You guys talking about nicknames?
Yeah. So how did Paul McMahon get Pud? Do you know? All right.
You know what some cool ones are? The throttle.
Shane
Throttle,
Cottle.
Shane
I like
Cottle.
that. That's cool.
That rhymes.
The Flying Hawaiian's still my favorite.
That's a good one.
So I mean, you get
Shane
nicknames
Scott.
like the Flying Hawaiian or the Throttle Shane Cottle, but then there's also nicknames you get like Kickstand
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
like I got Andy
Which
B
is
because
like
I
it's,
could never
it's
get
kind
out
of
of
like
the
a
B main
random
event.
thing. Like you need to know the story,
You know,
but
and then or it rhymes with your name, like
Yeah.
Flying Shoe, Ron Shoe.
So All right, so if
Don't worry
Ashton
about
still
it.
has a problem with it, he can come to talk to me again Saturday. But he was very respectful. He wanted to have a conversation with me like an adult. But I don't know. I mean, he got thicker skin, man. He got. I mean, I'm not saying I'm God's gift to Earth, but I'm kind of cool in this NorCal. You got a cool nickname from a stud, man. Good for you.
You went from kind of cool to when you phrased that, you were a stud.
You're getting a nickname from a guy who was the alternate in the B main 4 nights a row and is still called Andy Alternate, so it's okay. Okay, enough with that. My main event didn't go great, but I was happy with my speed. I mean, the car, remember, we swapped cars, so definitely felt more comfortable in this car.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I was really thinking this is not going to be any different than Thursday's car, and it's just me. I'm not used to 410s anymore. I'm a slapdick.
Yeah.
I can't drive. I felt way more comfortable tonight. Started the back of the feature, moved up a couple spots, and then I started running the top. Well, the bottom was good, and
Bottom was kind of dominant all night.
it's
And
amazing
then-
that it
but
stayed
you
the whole
were
race.
kind of the first one to kind of get up there.
And I looked okay up there, right?
Yes, 100%.
It was just too fast in the bottom, and then gravel knocked me off the track. No fault of his. I mean, that was just the racing thing, and I had to go to the back again. And then I finally decided, screw it, I'm giving up on the top for a while. I'm just going to go down and bide my time in the bottom till the bottom wears out. And I just over-rotated right in front of Jonathan, and he had nowhere to go and drove into the side of me. And at that time, the leaders went zigging by because we were all screwed up, hooked up, and flying through the infield. And once the leaders go by at an outlaw show, there's no reason to stay out there. So.
You're just kind of in the way.
The funny thing is it bent my car up a little bit, but something flew off of Jonathan's car, and it flew in the cockpit and bounced off my arm.
Oh,
I don't know
geez.
what it was.
Might have been a mud plug or something.
I don't know. It looked silver. Like the first thought was a stop, like a front stop, but
Oh, but he
he
continued
kept
on.
going for a
Yeah,
while.
he-
So I don't know what the hell that was,
Weird.
but lots of crazy stuff flying around on those racetracks.
Yeah.
I had some race fans
Dude,
tell me
I was at the pit board watching, like, maybe it was just hot laps. I got hit in the back by a rock, like a big rock hit me in the
it
back.
is gnarly.
It was dinging up on the scoreboard and like stuff like
Oh,
that.
it's
so it probably
horrible.
I
bounced
wonder if
off
it
of that
hit
and
that
hit you.
and hit
Yeah.
me in
Yeah,
the back.
absolutely.
It was
Definitely.
bizarre.
That's
There
why I
were
always
golf
stand
carts.
behind the post when I watch there.
Yeah.
Golf carts were getting hit.
It's scary.
I mean, I saw it all. We were standing behind all of that stuff on the picnic tables because this guy over here doesn't let us stand. Well, look where I used to stand,
Yeah.
and it's just crowded.
Do
and
you
they've
like
got-
getting hit by rocks?
No, I've never
Do you
been
like
hit by
getting
a
hit
rock.
by a car flying over the fence? Then don't stand
I
up
did
there.
almost get hit by a car flying over a fence at Fall National.
Tom Fish saved
Tom
you.
Fish saved me.
Who?
Because she wasn't. He wasn't. She wasn't.
Who
in the
was it?
movie.
It was Fall Nationals.
Just like 4 years ago, 5 years ago?
No,
No, this
like,
was
I want to say like
7, 6.
I think R.C. Smith is the last person I remember
8.
going over the fence on the backstretch. He dented the railing in the new
Oh, yeah,
thick
yeah,
bleachers. I don't remember another car flying over the fence.
And they didn't.
Oh,
But
okay,
they
okay,
were
okay.
just coming in that direction.
coming in that direction.
And like enough for all the crowd to take a step back, and Lisa was hung over so bad that she was not moving. So Tom Fish
He
picked
did. He
her
picked
up.
me up and like moved me out of the way. That wasn't my fault though.
It's gnarly. I did hear a number of 5,500 people tonight. I'm not saying that's official, but I'm going to say it's pretty
That's
close.
pretty awesome.
It's a lot of people stuffed in this little fairgrounds. A lot of people in the pits. Crazy driving through the
Ugh.
pits with all those people walking. And there was only 50, what did we say, 56? I mean, back in the day, there used to
Oh,
be
yeah.
90 to 100 rigs. I mean,
Yeah.
they were parked sardine style all the way around. And one of my first years at Gold Cup up here as a kid in the pits, I'm just aimlessly walking through the pits and almost got run over by Steve Kenzer. Best day of my life. It was so cool. But it seemed like that tonight. Like you could easily ran somebody over. We had the taco stand. The people would line up and they'd line up out in the road. So I told Colby, I'm like, Colby, we got to put some cones up or something for those idiots. So we did switch the way they were lining up, at least so they weren't totally out in the road. But I don't know. I liked how exciting and crowded and festive it was.
Yes.
I just felt like this Gold Cup was good.
It was a great Gold Cup.
We had
Not as
friends-
good as the year you won,
No.
but
Right. Well,
Second.
as far as racing
oh
goes,
no, here we go. It's third best Gold Cup that I've been associated with since the one you won, the one I ran second. This one's third.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
We had friends that came for the cornhole tournament.
Yes,
Like,
and they got second.
they got second. None of them had ever been to a race, so they were like, "Let's stick around
Yeah.
and hang out." And I'm standing next to one of my friends, like one of the girls that came, as she's getting a text from one of the wives that's in the grandstands, like, Placerville has an outlaw race
They wanna
on
come
Saturday.
again?
Like, we want to go. So, like, good on them doing this cornhole tournament, trying
Wow.
to get new
That's
blood.
like cross promoting right there.
Yeah.
It's like we're getting the cornholers here.
And that's
What did-
closer
so they
for all
thought
of
that
it.
was cool,
Oh,
huh?
they thought it was amazing. I mean, yeah, they were like,
Wow.
TV does not do this justice. This is so
No,
cool. You got to
TV
come
doesn't
and watch
do any
it.
racing justice like drag racing. I mean, those guys go from 0 to 300 in 3 seconds. I mean, you can't appreciate that on TV.
Right.
I will say this: I sat in the grandstands yesterday for hot laps, and I just kind of wanted to get different views. And I'm there checking out the fencing and stuff. You do get hit by a ton of shit, but I sat in the front row in turn 4 bleachers. It was pretty cool being that close to the
Yeah.
cars. They were smoking them, and the smell and the wind. It was definitely cool. I could see why somebody would like that. I would personally have to wear long sleeves, maybe gloves, pants, and a mask, a full face mask. Goggles wouldn't be enough because you'd still get hit in the mouth, but and in the nose maybe. But there is some people in the front row, and like the people in the wheelchairs that sit down there in the front.
yeah.
I don't know if we need to put a piece of plexiglass on the railing there for those poor suckers, but
Is it Calistoga cool? Calistoga turn 1 and 2 in the infield cool sitting in?
you're not that close to the cars at Calistoga. You can't get that close. But I mean,
Not anymore.
If you're in the front row and the grandstands at here, you're only like 8 feet away from them if they're up against the wall. Pretty close.
Yeah.
Felt like we used to be really close to the cars in Calistoga, and I walked out there one time. I'm all, this is stupid. I am leaving. This is dumb.
We were talking to Chuck Gurney today, and he was talking about his first time he ever raced at Calistoga. There was not even, he said the first time he raced there wasn't even a front stretch wall to separate the racetrack from the pit area. Can you imagine that?
No, not at Calistoga,
No.
especially in the cars that they were.
And he was, that was his first night ever, wasn't even playing, and he hopped in somebody's car with no roll cage, and he ran third. Pretty impressive.
Talking about studs.
Yeah.
That man was a stud.
I was joking that he should have a gold card to just get into any track for
Yeah.
free. Like, if you're in the Hall of Fame or you ran Calistoga with no cage, just like, gold card, pit past me.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So I'm a little disappointed for your schedule next week. I'm not any association with your race team, but I don't like your schedule. Just saying.
No, so we're both running one time next weekend.
I'm not
And
being
it's
wasting
not
my
the same
time
track.
going to Hanford. It's a waste of my time. We're just gonna go run the outlaw race at Placerville.
Yeah, so
You're going.
I'm going to Hanford on Friday.
No offense, but I think you'd do better at Placerville.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
I have more experience at Placerville, but yeah, car owner, they love Hanford, Tulare, and they're good tracks. It'll be fun.
I guess all your
Outlaw
crew's got
racing.
kids and football on Saturday.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Another reason to not have kids.
And then, but
Is he leaving? Oh,
He said goodbye.
okay. Bye, boo. My crew's leaving.
it's a tough turnaround, though.
It is.
Going to Hanford, and then I think they would probably drive to Chico, and then try to
Oh,
maintenance in the
God,
morning,
that'd
and then
be
get
miserable.
to Placerville. So yeah, it was gonna be tough for
I
them,
gotta-
regardless if they had the help.
Uh,
So
my big
I'm good just Friday.
My big thing on those type of weekends is do not crash, because you don't want to make it any worse than maintenancing. So we didn't crash Thursday, so basically all we're going to do is do a little general maintenance, and that's when we came up with the whole let's switch cars plan, which
Yeah.
we had to pull the motor out of one, pull the motor out of this one, swap them. A lot more work, but my dad and Mike, two old school racers, they're like the little engine that could, and they just went out there and just got shit done while Brian went and played golf. And then got done just in time to help us push the car back in the trailer.
Golf.
And you went with
On a
them.
work-
What the hell
Oh, yeah.
took so long?
Oh,
So
yeah.
did your car owner.
Yeah, Paul. You're working my old crew to death.
Sorry.
Well, I don't think this was the Gold Cup performance either one of us wanted. But,
Right.
I mean,
What'd you guys think about changing format up?
I
mean,
like the format.
Yeah, obviously,
love it.
like, you didn't start on the front row tonight for the A main, but you
I-
like doing this.
I like the format, and people can MF this deal all they want. Oh, there's just not enough 410s. Why are they adding 360s? You know what? Gold Cup has never been all 410s, right? I mean, Gold Cup at one time was
His first Gold Cup
was
was-
jalopies
His first Gold
and
Cup was in a
straight
360.
sixes, and then it went to super modifieds, and there'd be a super modified race in a sprint car, and then more in our era, it was a lot of 410s, and there'd be like 20 or 25 360s. So, you know, Brad's trying to feng shui the 410s, and if we gotta have some 360s out here and give them a format that they have a chance with the invert 6, screw it, let's do it. Can't just start the fast guys on the pole every outlaw race. Jesus Christ. That's,
No, I love this type of format. I just, yeah.
there's no perfect format.
Right.
Someone's gonna get screwed no matter what. So I think the format's cool. I was surprised. I thought everything was by points tonight. So Paul's like, well, all you gotta do is finish fourth in your heat and you're in the main event. I'm like, God, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Just buy the motors and just mind your own business. It's all points, Paul. Jeez. Then I go to the driver's meeting and they say, yeah, top 4 of the main event. I'm like, oh, shit. I guess I should listen to Paul more often.
So with your encyclopedic mind, like that's how it was last year.
Well, here's the thing about formats. I've kind of given up paying attention to formats because they
Yeah,
all...
No, I'm with you there for sure.
It's different. I mean, it's different all the time. So you got the Sprint Car Challenge Tour format, then you got a Placerville format, and then they were switching them together.
because it was the
He-
same promoters and like
He totally made fun of me earlier this year. I said something. He's like, you really don't know what the format is? I'm all, aren't they the same? He goes, no, they haven't done that
Nope.
all year. I'm like, I don't know.
Placerville's different than SCT.
I should
It's
know
just-
formats,
it's
though.
But then
silly.
at the Legends Night, we did A and B flight qualifying, and then the Hangtown, or not the Hangtown 100, the Posse Weekend.
Shootout.
That was a different format. Then you come here to the SLC nights. It's like a hybrid of the Outlaw. It's just like, there's like 9 different formats. So to answer your question, how did I not know? It's easy to not know anymore because they're all different.
I didn't ask that question. He asked.
Oh, you asked me that question?
Yeah.
There's easy to answer. There's too many goddamn formats now.
So how do you know how it worked? Like for the Outlaws, isn't Gold Cup always just show up points
I think when they split them up, it's just, yeah,
when they do
all
this
get
type of stuff?
points,
Like
yeah.
because Knoxville's just show up points, right?
Yeah. I believe, I don't know, I've never ran a full Outlaw tour to get the gist of it.
Yeah.
You know what? I heard Johnny Gibson, I was watching something.
John.
John Gibson? Is that what he goes by now? He doesn't want to be called Johnny Gibson anymore? Really? When did that happen?
Well,
Last year?
I noticed it when Chase Rodman started doing infield announcing, and he would always call him John. I'm like,
Yeah, it
why is
sounded
he doing
weird.
That?
That reminds me
Elijah said Johnny one time this weekend, and then after that he said John.
He
And
got
so I was
corrected on-
wonder. I don't know. I have no idea. I wonder.
that reminds me of Jeff Bodine. He used to race NASCAR, and then all of a sudden he started racing trucks, and he was now Jeffrey Bodine. I was like, what the hell? Who changes their name when they're 45 years old?
I thought that was his kid.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's not. It's the
Yeah.
same guy. Okay, sorry, John Gibson. Where was I? What was I talking about? John Gibson. Oh, okay. He mentioned how many starts Tanner Carrick had with the Outlaws, and I thought, I wonder if he knows how many I have.
I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, he's
I'm
just a wealth
curious.
of knowledge.
I'm gonna say 40 to 50.
No,
Ow.
Too many or too low?
way too low.
Too low? Well, 20
So,
Gold Cups.
um,
Well, okay, so 20 Gold Cups, is that 40? I mean, if I race Friday or 2 nights?
But we used to do 3 nights.
No, you never ran 3
Some
nights
of them.
together. It's always been 2 nights.
No.
No.
So some of them. The year I won, we ran 3 nights.
We did?
Yeah.
We ran all 3 nights?
I got
Yeah.
a 5th, a 1st, and a 3rd.
God damn.
It was a good weekend.
That was our favorite
That's
Gold
the
Cup.
one I said was the best Gold
Yes.
Cup ever.
But no. So I think
We weren't in the A main on that one, I know for sure, because we were watching a
No,
bunch
so
of
I was on the
trailer.
A main because I tried fucking him and causing a caution with like 5 to go.
yeah, he did.
And I still, I tried driving off the track, but the front end was literally spinning in the car. The shocks were flying up, and my hood was flying up. I'm like, I can't drive it any further.
But I feel like it wasn't too long ago that Reitzel won his first outlaw race, and I think they had a stat like it was like start number 75, and I'm like, oh, I wonder
I'm
what
gonna
mine
find out.
is. So I think I kind of went back and looked, and I might have been off on the number that for Reitzel's start, but
Sean has a
I was-
spreadsheet for like all his stuff.
I was
You don't
surprised.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
how to
that's-
do it.
Whiteboard.
doesn't
Yeah, I have
Boo?
it.
Boo does.
Boo's got it broken down, but I
Yeah.
have it on a dry board in my shop.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's right, board.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't think? Okay, well let's.
I
I'm
mean,
just gonna
it's
go
a
off of
lot.
your bullying me into raising my number. So I'm gonna say 78.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to remember to ask Johnny that next week.
John.
Sorry. God dang it. So does that mean Bobby Gerald's now
I-
Bob Gerald?
Isn't his DJ?
Bob
Star.
Yeah.
So maybe. No, I totally don't know the story with Johnny.
Hmm.
I just know that like the last couple of years, everyone's called him John, and I still say Johnny because that's how
What's
I know
his
him.
name?
And I kind of said the same thing. Like when you've gone by something for so
Yeah,
long, it's
that's
hard for
just
people to.
It's kind of like if you get a nickname, it just sticks with you for life. Ashton, I kid because I care, but it's all good.
Like that's all funny too because you are like the safety guy. I mean, like you've saved lives at Silver Dollar by coming out here and putting foam out there and doing all like you are a safety guy. So like I do really wholeheartedly believe you would not poke fun at someone if it had been a different outcome.
I think it's freaking awesome that he survived. I mean,
It's amazing.
God.
It's incredible.
I think
That
it
a
was
scary day.
badass.
That was way
Junior
scary.
landed in a sewer pond upside down. We still talk about that to this day. Car landed in a freaking sewer pond at Calistoga upside down, and his belts were zip tied shut. They had to dive in and go save his ass. People used to fly out of the park at Calistoga, land in the trees. I mean, Anthony Simone's car was in the tree one night, and he jumped out, and the car fell down. I mean, crashes are fun to make fun of if you survive them.
Huh?
Where?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 79, 80. I forget who it was, but they stopped the race for like 20 minutes looking for him. His car flipped out of the park. And, you know, by the time the crew got out of there, he done buckled, and the fair was going on, so he
Yeah,
walked
I used
over
to
and got
race
a hot
there.
dog.
So if you
They were looking for him, they couldn't find him.
Paul's saying that sometime in the late 70s, somebody flipped it out of the park at the Calistoga Fair race, which they used to race at the fair. And by the time the fire crew and safety crew got there, which was probably pretty mediocre back in 79, let's say, the guy had gotten out, went into the fair, and bought himself a hot dog. That's what Paul's saying.
I love the story, but nobody has money in their fire suit.
That is true.
Ah,
It's also 79. I don't know.
Well, he might have had money in
Jeans
his
on.
pocket. He could have had jeans on.
I
Gurney
was
didn't.
also like 8 at the time, so maybe I don't remember. Right.
maybe there was a flip and
And you got a hot dog.
you got a hot dog.
He was drinking whiskey. Okay.
I
so-
did learn a term with Julie tonight that she does not like.
Oh,
What's that?
yeah.
Julie York.
Yes, Julie York. Who was it that wrecked their front end? McFadden.
No, not the front end.
Knocked the front end out. She does
doesn't
not
like
like
that?
that
No,
because the front end is still there.
Well, that one was gone.
What's wrong with your voice?
Julie York has turned into a
In
75-year-old
case you don't
man.
know, Julie York, her husband was Jason York. He was a
Was
Still
Jason
is.
York?
Jason York.
It still is.
Where did
Well,
it
not
go?
after this
maybe
weekend.
if he has a choice, it won't be. But 2-time silver dollar champion.
Never ran us over.
She had to get carried off the front stretch one night at
One
Calistoga for raising such a ruckus during a yellow. We damn near had to stop the
I was
race, but they
pregnant. She was
literally.
pregnant, too.
Who carried you off the track? Cajun? Yeah, Cajun from Katings. She wanted to kill the head referee for penalizing Jason.
Present the next week.
Anyways,
Julie.
well, I'm gonna call it knock the front end out. I'm gonna piss Ashton off, and I'm gonna keep calling him Fallout Boy. And I'm gonna keep saying knock the front end out.
If the
Piss you
front
off.
end is gone, that's fine.
No,
But
I don't care.
sometimes there's a wheel missing, and oh my god, the front end's knocked out.
And you're saying Drake says that?
You know what else is? I have a feeling is knocked out. This area here with you, all knocked out. All right.
All right.
That's it from
Let's
Gold
hope
Cup 69.
Jason's in bed getting ready for tomorrow. Yes, get up and
It's 1:38. Okay, we have to unpack and put all this crap away tomorrow. What time are we setting our alarms for?
Not.
We're not?
I don't set an alarm.
My alarm's
We don't want to sleep like accidentally to like 10:30 and have everybody in this entire complex
Have
be
we
gone
slept
except for
till
us.
10:30 accidentally this
The
week?
time we need to get our asses up, we will.
6:45.
It's football Sunday tomorrow, so what do we normally do? You turn the 49er game on
they're
out
on at
here,
10.
and when do they go on?
10 to 1.
10 to 1, and we usually watch most of the game while we're putting stuff away.
Yeah.
Will you be a me?
But I liked your theory earlier.
What?
Pull the awning in to put the
Oh.
slide-ins in and just haul ass
That
out of
is
here.
my idea. Leave everything here. Just drive over our scenery, the barbecue, the tables. Just fucking Bigfoot this stuff out of here.
Start over.
I mean,
Never
how much
coming
could a
back.
few tables and tents cost? I mean, it might be worth our time. I mean, think how much time we're gonna have invested. Maybe we should just buy new stuff and leave it all here.
What?
No.
He just gave us permission
No, yeah.
And
they
on,
don't need to buy anything.
on Shark
now.
on
Tales
Shark Tales, meaning
to go buy all new stuff?
yes.
Andy.
You got tens of witnesses.
Tables and barbecues
I
and
didn't do barbecue.
a
Hey,
new
we're-
barbecue.
we're-
Dozens of people are watching.
We're all gonna be very grouchy tomorrow, and I
Not
bet you
quite 2 dozen.
this will come back up, and we're gonna contemplate doing it.
Dozen at least.
Let's see.
Barely.
Who's no good? Oh, Clayton Snow's watching. Clayton with the cheater frame.
Oh.
Snowmobile got.
I'm
In
joking.
trouble.
Here's the deal. I'll correct myself really quick so I don't piss anybody off. There are some cars that got built with a little bit too thin of frame rails, and we don't know if we have them. I showed up with a car. I
Yeah,
had
you
no
were
idea.
nervous.
I was like, I hope this passes tech. So yeah, poor Joey Ancona. He's like, oh, this car's illegal. Well, we'll just bring our spare out. Well, they went and checked his spare, and it was cheater too. So
Jeez.
yeah,
sucks.
Ancona didn't get to race Gold Cup, but yeah. So I'm just joshing you, Clayton. Don't get your tit in a ringer. Are we done? Good luck in Hanford Saturday or Friday.
Good luck in Placerville on Saturday.
What are you doing? Are you going to come watch?
Well,
That's kind of
I think
convenient.
so.
I'm
I
not going to
think-
go cheer for you at Hanford. That's too far.
I don't know, my calendar's on our phone that we're using here, so I don't know what's happening.
I'm
next
sure.
Saturday.
We got that open.
All right.
We'll come.
It
cheer
should
you
be-
on.
Driver coach.
I need my driver coach.
Yeah.
I will say, in honor of you tonight in the main event, I was singing your fuel song.
Oh, did you?
Sean was a race car driver. He went so goddamn fast, but if he didn't turn his fuel switch on, he'll come in last.
He did.
I was super
Thursday.
paranoid because we don't have the big 32-gallon fuel tank. We only got a 28-gallon. Like, you're supposed to have the big fuel tank with the
We were
outlaws.
worried about you and your heat race.
In the heat race.
Yeah, I was getting worried too.
I thought
Well,
I
we
was
were
gonna
thinking
miss my
about
flight.
it. The question was posed. Hey, how much did we put in?
Yeah, my heat race lasted a long time, but I was
My
freaking
second
leaning that
concern
thing
was
down the
I'm gonna
whole
miss my
time.
flight
And
tomorrow.
singing your
Because
song,
we're still doing
my
race.
song.
I only sang your song in the main event. I didn't
Okay.
sing your song. in
You
the heat
told
race.
him the other night he's not allowed to sing your song. You can't steal my song. You have to have your own song. And then
I
you
did it
sang
in
his
honor
song.
of him,
Oh,
Why are we?
So
honoring?
technically, I was in the main.
in
No.
spirit.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay, we've had enough fun tonight. Probably pissed enough people off. I pissed them. You never piss anybody off. Have you ever pissed anybody off?
Yes, yes.
I I put you in the wall. The X1 team wasn't very happy with me.
That one time.
Drake at 7 years old went and ripped his ass and said he owes.
Okay.
Drake York?
Yeah, I'm into
Flow Racing's Drake York.
I'm into Larry. Get loose into turn one.
Get loose. You did it intentionally.
Okay, Julie. I spun out intentionally in front of her husband, and he has nowhere to go. Collects him.
Okay.
Crashes it. Probably knocked the front end out.
Yeah.
But I come over because
his career.
when I screw up, like it's important to me to own up to it. So go over to Jason, and we're friends anyway. I'm like, Jason, I'm so sorry. Like, I'm an idiot.
I'm not sure
I
Would
spun
you
out.
shut up over there, Robbie?
Okay. Jason, I'm sorry. I screwed up. I spun.
Oh shit, we gotta
basically
wrap
just-
this up.
Yes. Basically, just like, sorry, like, that's on me. I'm sorry. My mistake took you out. Before I can even get there to say this eventually, Drake comes.
You owe us the
Oh
rear
my
end.
God.
You sounded just like him.
I know! That's what he sounded
And he
like.
still sounds like that on Flow. Gosh, what a little dork.
He has never let me live that down. I still owe the Yorks a rear end.
Like, knocked it out.
I knocked it out. Oh, Drake York, you're my favorite.
Not mine by far.
How many dumpsters have you put him in?
Not enough, but you
Or
know what?
pools?
He almost got so
There was these two kids tonight playing on this K-rail, and it was right next to this dumpster. And I
Charlie Fowler.
almost talked him into jumping in. I said, dude, that's just like a foam pit at Chuck E. Cheese. They thought about it. They seriously did. And Julie was encouraging it.
We are so much cooler than their parents.
So, don't get this. So then she goes, but it stinks in there. I said, no, that's not the dumpster. That's those two girls standing behind you. Oh, we had a crowd of like 8 people all watching, and I know they were all like, let's see these two kids jump in the dumpster. Hey, you gotta have fun at the races. I mean, that's... yeah, one was a
Tyner
Fowler,
circle.
one was a Tyner kid. I mean, we're on like generation 9 of the Tyners, but that was Brittany Tyner's daughter. Okay, yeah. So Brittany, I almost had your kid in the dumpster tonight.
So what would have been great about that is Leanne's other kid is in the back of their rig and decided he was done with his juice. So he squirts it out the window. That's the food line.
Oh man.
It just sprays all these people. So she comes to me. She goes, Lisa, will you go watch my kid? I'm like, what? Where's your kid? Because I'm actually not really cool with kids in the pits. Like, it's so hard for me. I'm like, what do you mean? I turn around. He's just sitting in the back seat, like watching TV.
19-point harness. I'm like, it's got a goddamn 19-point harness. Why do we need to watch it? She goes, watch this. That little shit was out of there.
Spraying people just. I got the weirdest comment. I know we have to go, but tell me girls, if this has ever happened to you. We were standing on those picnic benches. So there was a guy sitting there, like, finishing picnic.
Picnic.
He-
Yeah.
Hey, boo boo.
Hey, boo boo.
So I'm standing up on the, like, picnic table part of it. And the guy's sitting on the bench, and he sees us get up there, and then he stands up, and he goes, oh, good seats. I like your toes. And then he started walking away, and my friend was standing with me who hates feet. Like, hates feet. And I looked at her, I said, how we doing? How uncomfortable? She goes, what the hell is this place? Is this the type of things people say to you? I'm like, that for sure was a first for me. Like,
I
your
hate
toes.
feet too. It's so ugly. If you're in high heels, you better have closed toes.
Jesus.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew you liked high heels, but
Yeah.
they have to be
No,
closed
they don't
toed.
have to be, but I don't need old mangly toes hanging out the front.
Well, what if they're not mangly toes?
Well, I mean, I'll give the girl credit. When you're on super high heels, I can see how they would squish forward. I don't want them hanging over the sole. But Anyways, that's enough. We're not talking about that anymore.
My heels had closed toes.
I will say this.
I was gonna say
I
bikini
wouldn't.
contest.
I'm
You
not
guys
sure
didn't talk about that last
if I would have
night.
been more happy if I won the main event tonight, or if I could have got those 2 kids to jump in that dumpster. It would have been close. I would have been pretty goddamn satisfied with myself. Could you imagine? I mean, that would have been epic.
So they're like walking on the edge of it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It was. I almost got him. But anyways,
That was close.
that's it. Gold Cup 69. Next year, my goal is to either win the Gold Cup or get those 2 kids to jump in the dumpster. One of the 2.
Alright, we'll get them next year.
My goal is to find a camp spot for us.
The funny thing is, I'm not sure if I'll ever get a chance to win an World of Outlaw race here.
but you talk girls into jumping in the track.
Well, what if you started with that car? You
Next-
would have
I'm
qualified
just,
better.
You know.
You're so funny.
Turn it off.
Bye.